You have certainly seen movies like Matrix or the Terminator, where there is robots, cyborgs, and artificial intelligence that is leading a war against humans. And in every of those movies, in the beginning, there were a bunch of nerds that is making an intelligence or a technology that went out of their control. So maybe with advances of technology, maybe those scenarios will be true one day. Hello Internet, and welcome to the PodTech Talk, where we break down the technology that is making your lives better. I am Mehdi, your host for this new episode, and today I want to talk about artificial intelligence. So you have probably heard about this word before, since it's the buzzword of the last decades, and in this episode I want to let you know more about it and discuss about its future. I'm really excited, guys, to talk with you about artificial intelligence, since it's a part of my university studies and I work currently on some project with AI, and I can tell you guys that it's a really interesting and exciting topic. Like in every podcast you will ever see or hear about artificial intelligence, it will often start about some historical facts. So it all started in the 1950s, where the whole idea of, or the word term of AI started, when scientists and researchers started using computers and noticed their capabilities and their fast computations. And they thought about whether or not it is possible for those machines to have a capability, or it will be possible for those machines to develop an intelligence behavior, or the ability of those machines to mimic some of the humans' functionalities of some human's brain or human intelligence. What it is meant by that is that it's all about all cognitive functions like learning, decision making, and problem solving, etc. And the researchers were really optimistic about artificial intelligence, and however, unfortunately, they had not such good results at the beginning, and they had not such great funds for their research. So from there started what we call now as the AI winter, where there were no research and no project with artificial intelligence, until the 1980s, where there were this new paradigm or this new way of making artificial intelligence called machine learning. So here comes another buzzword that you have certainly heard about, that is machine learning. So machine learning basically is just a certain way or a subset of artificial intelligence. Is just a way of making an artificial intelligence. And the way that the researchers or the literature defines machine learning is just saying that it's a new way of programming machines. And let me explain that to you. So you have a classical programming paradigm. For example, you have a set of input data and a set of rules to apply on those data. And what your program is supposed to do is just to apply those rules on your input data to output the answers. However, for machine learning problems or for machine learning algorithms, you have the input data and also the answers to those data, and your program is supposed to draw a pattern between the input data and the output data, which means the answers, to output the rules. I know that it sounds a bit unclear for now, but let me just give you a quick example so you can better understand it. So let's say, for example, that you are passionate of gardenery and you love plants and you love vegetables, and you were walking around one day and you've seen that plant that you could not figure out which type it is. So basically how you would interact with this is you would compare these plants, you compare with its shape or its color or its width or height with all the plants that you already know, to figure out which type of plants it is. The same thing happens with machine learning actually. It will take these features of of the plants that you know, that is the color, the shape, for example, and width and height, and it will compare it to all the data that it has and all the types that it has to predict what type of plant it is. So from this example, you can understand that the main drawback from using machine learning is that it expects from a human to give it its features. So it's hugely dependent from the human intervention. So for example, in our plant example, you have to give your machine learning algorithm some features that could make the difference between two things or two plants. So for example, if I choose the wrong features, for example, I would take the shape, the height and width, and didn't take the color in consideration, my algorithm, my machine learning algorithm, wouldn't be so accurate or wouldn't be perfect. And that's where the deep learning comes in. So deep learning is just a subset of machine learning. It's just a way of making machine learning that was inspired from our brain, from our own brain. It uses actually artificial neural networks to learn from data. So I won't go into details of deep learning, but I will just give you an example, a quick example from where you can learn the difference between machine learning and deep learning. So let's take another example. Let's forget about plants and just think about another example where we have a problem of classifying vehicles. So let's say that we have tons and tons of vehicles that could be cars, buses, planes, or motorcycles, and we would tell to our program to make the difference between those types of vehicles. So the way that machine learning would solve this problem is expecting from the human or the programmer or the developer to give it some features like, I would say for vehicles, it would be the number of wheels, the number of windows, for example. There could be the color also, or even the width and height of the vehicles. So with this example, the machine learning algorithm will try to figure out which type of vehicle it is. On the other hand, how deep learning figure out or solve this problem, it takes completely all the types of vehicles. Let's say if we are dealing with images, it will take all those images and learn feature by its own. It doesn't accept any intervention from a human to learn features or what differentiate between two vehicles, for example, to learn from data and get the type of the vehicle. So in conclusion, the main difference between deep learning and machine learning is that deep learning doesn't rely on any human intervention and is completely independent. So now that you know the difference between deep learning and machine learning and you know more about it, let me just give you some example of their implementation in your daily lives. So for example, in your social media feed, when you are using, for example, YouTube, for example, and you are seeing a YouTube video about technology or cooking, for example, and once you clicked on this video, what will your YouTube algorithm do is that it will take that into consideration and it will show you more and more this kind of videos or this type of videos. I will give you another example in business. It is used to do stocks prediction or to regroup some of the clients. So for example, if you have Ooredoo or GZ or something, they use those kind of algorithms to regroup some clients. So for example, this client would be interested for this service or this offer and this kind of services. So it's also used in the medical area where it's used for example, tumor predictions and other diseases predictions. And there are certainly ones of you guys that think that machine learning or AI in general cannot be creative. Let me tell you that there is more art made by AI than all humans. There were some artificial intelligence that made some paintings, some musics, and even movie scripts. So now let's get back to the beginning, what I said in the beginning of this podcast about the future of artificial intelligence and if it becomes like Skynet or Matrix or this kind of villain artificial intelligence. So I don't know if you have ever seen the podcast with Joe Rogan with Elon Musk. They discussed this topic, and they discussed about artificial intelligence. And Elon Musk said that for now the artificial intelligence is in control of the humans. But however, in case that we use this artificial intelligence in the wrong way, for example, as weapons, or to use artificial intelligence against humans, it could go out of our control, and it could be dangerous for our lives. So I'm curious, guys, to know more about your thoughts about artificial intelligence, what you think about its future, what will bring us as innovations or inventions about artificial intelligence. So let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about it. Thank you, guys, for watching this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and learned some new informations. See you in the next video. Peace.